it's Melissa from The Little for the Kid, and welcome back to my back to school week. Today is day 3 of my back to school week. I'm glad you're here to join us. Today, I'm going to be showing you how I plan week to week, week by week. So if you have been around my channel, you may have seen my video prior to my back to school week about planning for the year, big picture. And so today I'm going to show you how I take that a step further every week and I plan by the week. So today I'm showing you planning our first week of school that's coming up. So if you're interested in seeing how I plan week to week, stick around. Okay, so first of all, it is cold in my house. That is why I have this ginormous fleecy sweatshirt on. So don't think I'm crazy that in the middle of the summer in the deep south, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. My husband likes cold in the house and I'm cold. So number 2, I know that I did a video about the Well Plan Gal homeschool planner that I bought to use this year, and I was fully transparent in that video, and I told you that I wasn't sure how long I'd last in it before I switched, because I've always made my own planner, and so wasn't super keen on that one. I thought it would be easier for me, but in the end it drove me crazy, and I went right back to making my own planner. So I'll sort of show you a little bit of that before I show you how I plan. So this is a Happy Planner. If you're familiar with Happy Planners, they're an ARC system. I like the ARC system because better than the spiral bound, because you can take pages out, put new pages in, make custom pages, whatever you want to do. It's really easy, really versatile. So I have the larger metal rings so that I can fit more in my planner. And then I have also the Happy Planner. See, it says the Happy Planner. It's one of their deluxe covers. So it's very sturdy and has held up really well. I've had this for a number of years. I used it in my classroom for my lesson planning when I was a classroom teacher, and then I brought it home with me and I've used it as a homeschooler as well. And it has a couple of little spots where one of my birds got a hold of it. Stinker. But other than that, it has held up beautifully, and I expect to get a lot more life out of it. So what I have done is I have created my own. I'm not going to show you all of them. I have a year to glance, just the whole calendar. I have an attendance tracker. I showed you the similar one, but I decided to change it up. I like this one better. I have curriculum maps for all my kids that I showed you before too as my plan for the year. I redid them. I had handwritten them and it was driving me crazy, and so I typed them because I'm OCD and extra like that. And then I made my own divider tabs. So all these I made, and basically what I do is I go ahead and print out my month at a glance for the entire year. So it's already printed out and ready to go so that I can pencil in dates as trips, events, field trips, whatever, things that come up well into the future that I'm not planning our actual lessons yet. I still have my month at a glance where I can add those things in. So I do have months printed out for the entire school year from August through July. But then as far as my actual lesson plans from week to week, I don't print those all out at the same time because I explained a little bit about that in my year plan. But I give myself extra time through the year for several reasons. One of the main ones is my youngest son has a chronic illness, and so we are never 100% sure when we wake up in the morning if we're going to have a good day or a bad day. So I give myself plenty of flexibility with the school year so that if we wake up one day and we just can't do school, then it's not a huge deal, and I don't feel super pressured to try to get things done so that my lesson plan gets fulfilled for that day, if that makes sense. So I plan a week at a time. Generally, I sit down on Sundays and I pull all our curriculum out and I see where we are, and I look at last week's plan and I see what we didn't get done and what we did get done, and then I pick up the next week's plan from there. So if we got everything done, then no big deal. I move right on to the next week and we just keep going. If there were things that we didn't get finished, then I'm able to cross those out on last week's plan. We didn't get it done, and add it to the next week's plan, and so it works out beautifully for us. So I'm going to turn you around and show you how I create my planner pages. They are in PowerPoint. That is just a program I'm super familiar with, and it's easy for me personally to work with. You could do this in Publisher too. Publisher is a good program. I just prefer PowerPoint because I've been working with PowerPoint longer and I'm more familiar with it, but you may like Publisher better. Anyway, I'm going to turn you around and show you what my weekly plans on my PowerPoint presentation look like. Okay, so sorry if the lighting is not great on my computer screen, but you can see I start with a My Busy Week page, and I can add in whatever I need to add here. And so a lot of times if I know there's something I have to do, I'll type it in before I print it. Otherwise, I will just add things handwritten once it's printed and put in my planner. It just gives me blank spots where I can add whatever I need to add as things come up during the week. So generally my planner is a mix of things that are already typed in and then things that I handwrite as we go. And then I have a double page spread for my week. The first page looks like that, and on the side I have our family plan, so what we do together as a group, like our gather round and our morning basket and things like that. I just try to give myself a checklist of the things that I would like to accomplish each one of the days of the week. You can see my spread continues for the other 3 days of the week there. And then I have one for each of my kids because they obviously have their own individual things that they need to get done and accomplish. So that is kind of what my spread looks like. And then I also on the back, I just have this dot paper. I love dot paper. And so this gives me added room to just make notes, write down whatever I need to write down. If I am triggered by something we're studying and I have an idea of something I want to, buy or get from the library or something like that, then I can just throw it on this notes page. And I have one for every week. So I can always go back and look and see if there's anything I need to remember or do or get or change or whatever. So that's kind of how I do it. So let me show you a little bit. I'm not going to plan the whole week with you watching because that would bore you to tears, but let me just go in and show you a little bit of how that looks when I start to type it in. So there you have it. That's how I plan. You can see that I have little Instead of bullets, I used those boxes, so that gives me a way to be able to check it off when we're done. And so what I do is I turn to that page every day, whatever week we're on, I will turn to it on in the morning. And my big kids will actually come to my planner and they will transfer what I have under their name for that day. They will transfer that to their planner so that they make sure that they are equally responsible for their work. And that I'm not just on them all the time, like, have you done your math? Have you done your science? Let me see your this, let me see your that. They know what they have to do and they don't have to ask me. That helps when I'm working with my little one so that my bigs can just get things done. And then at the end of the day, they can bring me their planner and their work and they can say, see, I finished it all, and I'll check over it and go through it, help them with anything that they weren't sure of. And that gives me and them a good way to make sure that we're staying on track and that we're getting everything done, and things we're not getting done, we're making sure that we get them done the following week because we're keeping track of it. This is also just a good way for me at the end of the year to have record of every single thing we did and when we did it, just for records purposes. I'm very much a record keeper. I like to be able to look back and see what we've done, and I think it's wise as homeschoolers just to have records of what you're doing with your children, just as protection for you and your family should you ever need it. I don't foresee that ever happening. I hope that won't ever happen, but it does not hurt to have records in case something did. You know, I mean, there are things that are beyond our control, and if something happened, you know, to me or whatever, and we had to put them all back in school, then I just think it's beneficial to just have those things, record of all those things that you've done to make that transition, should it ever need to happen, easier for everybody. You know, life is unpredictable and lots of things that we can't control happen all the time. And so it just makes me feel better about everything if I have good records of everything. So that is how I plan. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. I would highly suggest, even if you don't want to plan every single week, I would highly recommend that you do not plan too far ahead, because like I said, you just never know what is going to happen, and how fast you're going to get through things, and how quickly they may understand one subject and or one concept and not another. And so as homeschoolers, that's part of the beauty of it. We can stay on a topic if we're having trouble understanding it. We can stay on it until we get it. It's not like in traditional school where, you know, they spend such and such amount of time on a concept and then they move on, whether everybody got it or not, because they have to. Well, in homeschool, you don't have to do that. So that's the beauty. One of the beauties of homeschool is that you can really make sure your children are learning the content before you move on. So I highly recommend not planning too far in advance, because things change and that's okay. Do not forget that I am having a little giveaway this week, and so you'll want to check out all the details of the giveaway so that you don't miss out on your chance to win. So check out all those details in the description box below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.